Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm so excited for today's video. Today I want to share with you some fragrances that I cannot wait to wear now that it's autumn season. Now that the temperatures are starting to drop, now I can just take out some of my heaviest fragrances that I loved wearing, and that let's just say I put them away a little bit for summer because they could have been too much. Maybe not for me, but maybe for people around me, you know. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. I love heavier fragrances. I love strong, powerful fragrances. I love fragrances that are, let's just say, more creative, more unique. I love fragrances that stand out. I love fragrances that are a statement sort of fragrance, you know. So if you enjoy these sort of fragrances as well, just so you know, almost all fragrances in today's video will be of that kind. So if that is something that you would like, definitely keep on watching. I'm trying to be a bit more active on YouTube. I know, guys, that let's just say I've posted one video, then I went off for 10 days, then I came back and things like that. I'm just trying to come up with a schedule, you know. I'm working on that. But the thing is, in real life, I'm a very creative person. Like, when I feel like doing something, I do it. And when I don't feel like doing something, I don't do it, you know. I cannot come here and put like a smile on and be like, you know, it's not me, you know. I need to feel like doing it. So if I'm off, just so you know, I have some things in my personal life, I solve them, I come back, so on and so forth. But I'm trying to come up with a schedule, with the filming schedule and with the posting schedule. Also, guys, if you have any video ideas for me, if you have any, let's just say, video requests, feel free to either put them down below in the comments, send me a DM on Instagram, an email if you want. I have an email, you know. So yes, I would really appreciate that, because I always like to take your feedback into account when it comes to my videos, you know. Now, guys, in all honesty, a lot of the fragrances that I cannot wait to wear this autumn season, I mentioned them in this video as well. Those I will not repeat. I will only add to the list, you know, but I don't want to mention twice any of the fragrances. So these will be fragrances that, honestly, I think some of these you've seen like once or twice mentioned on my channel, you know. Without any more rambling, let's just start. So the first fragrance is a fragrance that I am in love with, and I will be forever in love with this one. This is a fragrance made around rose. What's new? And let me just tell you, it's one of the most beautiful rose fragrances that I have ever smelled. I think it's more of a creative rose fragrance. It's not, let's just say, an easy reach, simple rose fragrance. This fragrance is called Calligraphy Rose, and it is by the brand Aramis. This is the only fragrance I've tried from the house. Can you like look at the color of this fragrance? Like, it's so beautiful. I actually read like a few days ago some reviews for this one on Fragrantica, because I was like smelling it again. I was like all of a sudden re-falling in love with it, you know, because this is a fragrance that's not, I only wear it when I'm in like a specific mood, but I still love it, you know, like I love it. It's one of my staples. It's a top 10, let's just say, for life. Now, I've read some comments on Fragrantica about this one, and guys, the comments were like kind of like low-key negative. Personally, I love this fragrance, and to me, it's worth it. To me, I have a lot of rose-based fragrances in my collection, but by far, this is the most realistic rose fragrance that I have in a resinous balsamic mix. Now, I know this one is discontinued. If you still manage to somehow find it, get it for a reasonable price. Keep in mind, for a reasonable price. I think I paid, when I got this one years ago, I paid around 89 euros for it, I think, and it's totally worth it. Oh my god, yes. So this smells like hot fiery spices. This might come from the saffron with a sweet syrupy rose, like a rose syrup, but that's warm, like let's just say a freshly made rose syrup on a resinous, dense, thick, rich balsamic base. It's gorgeous, guys. Here, let's just say, if you want, if resinous and balsamic fragrances are intriguing to you, I think this is a gorgeous example of a very beautiful balsamic fragrance. This smells very realistic. If you've ever smelled labdanum, you will smell it here, but it smells, guys, like, it smells, to me, it smells very natural, like it smells very raw. It smells like you were to find these smells naturally in nature, you know. Like I said, saffron mixed with freshly homemade warm rose syrup with myrrh and labdanum. So myrrh and labdanum, guys, together have this like very warm, round, enveloping, resiny balsamic touch. It smells almost like myrrh. I'm sure a lot of you smelled myrrh. It smells like myrrh, and labdanum, guys, it smells like a resinous note that's like a little bit darker, and it has this like very particular propolis like undertone, you know. It's it's one of my favorite notes ever in fragrances. This, I'm so excited to wear it. Few sprays of this one is all you need. You don't need a lot of sprays. And something I like about it, guys, to me this is more of a creative fragrance. Yes, you have everything I've said, but in the background, I mean, like I've said, you have the syrupy quality of the fragrance, but you also get like the softest lavender mixed with the softest aromatic nuances. They're not in the front, they're not the first thing that you smell, at least they're not the first thing that I smell, but they're there in the background to give like a little bit of a kick to the scent, you know. I cannot wait to wear it more, and I'm very happy to have this one in my collection and to wear it now. Honestly, this one in the summer is too much. Too much for me, too much for people around me. It's very heavy and it's very strong. Keep in mind, guys, this is from 2013. Like my batch. Can you imagine how much time it had to macerate, you know? Like all the time in the world. So it's very, like, performance is not an issue with this fragrance. So this next fragrance is a fragrance made around honey. And me and honey, guys, we have an interesting relationship. relation, I think. I like honey. I really love the smell of honey, but I have a hard time with honey in fragrances. I've tried the fragrance, I think the most popular honey fragrance from the designer section, from Jean-Paul Gaultier. The fragrance was called Santal. I've tried the simple one, and even though in the opening it smelled nice, but the more it got to develop on my skin, it had this very interesting PC undertone, which is definitely not the vibe that I go for. Like it's not my kind of style, you know, when it comes to fragrances. So that one for me was like sort of a fail, but I do like how it smells on other people. Now this is another honey-based fragrance. This one is Amber Gold Euphoria by Calvin Klein. This is a flanker to the OG Euphoria, but it smells nothing like Euphoria. Yeah, this to me, it smells like syrupy honey that's very sweet, mixed with a dark fruity plummy touch, mixed with incense and something dusty in the background. That's slightly powdery as well. So it opens up very rich, very syrupy, very dense, ambery, and very round. And the more you wear it, let's just say the roundness starts to fade and it starts to become more soft, woody, incensey, and slightly powdery, with the same honey that you had in the opening. Very beautiful fragrance, very unique fragrance. It's a fragrance that now that it's starting to get more cold outside, I feel like I can safely wear this one without suffocating myself or without suffocating people around me, you know. It's a very beautiful fragrance, but I feel like with me, even though I mean, for some it might be a lot, for some it might be few fragrances, but let's just say I have a decent collection, at least for me, you know. I definitely have way more than I need. A lot of the times I tend to reach for the same fragrances, you know, and that's why, like, I finish fragrances, I repurchase them, you know, and I have backup bottles because I use the same sort of fragrances again and again. And when it comes to other fragrances, I like, not that I forget about them, but I have to like actively make myself use them, you know, not because I don't like them, because I genuinely love how this one smells, but simply because I'm so used to wearing those same fragrances, you know. But yeah, this is why this autumn I definitely want to wear this one more. And if you are overall looking for a honey fragrance, but let's just say a more creative honey fragrance, a more statement honey fragrance with incense, check out this one. Now this next fragrance is a fairly new fragrance in my collection. I actually bought it because I got a lot of questions about it, and let me just tell you, the notes looked amazing. This is from Lattafa. This is a very affordable fragrance, guys, and I think this is like early autumn in a bottle. This one is called Khamrah. This is how it looks. I know it's supposed to be a dupe to Angel Share by Kilian. I have not tried that fragrance, so I cannot compare it, but I think this one on its own, it's beautiful enough to get it without looking for it to be a dupe of that one. You know, this one basically, to me, this smells, I have a feeling, first of all, I have a feeling this will be one of my easy reach fragrances this autumn season. This one smells like you take a glass of warm apple juice, you put in some cinnamon sticks, but like a lot of them, because the cinnamon touch of the scent is quite noticeable. It's very spicy basically. And then you add there like a dash of cognac, you know, just like, let's just say, to make your day a bit better, you know, like to be a bit more bubbly. And you stir it well, and then you smell it, and this is how I picture Khamrah smells. Of course, you have more nuances than that, but to describe it in a very few words, I think this is the vibe that it gives me. Besides this, it also has this like sticky, sweet touch in the background, and as you are wearing this one, let's just say that the apple juice smell is gone. The spiciness is still there, but you start to get more of the soft, sweet myrrh mixed with dry woody nuances. Definitely with this one, the magic is in the opening. Either I have a review posted, either I will post it, but I have an in-depth review for this one, so yes. But it's a beautiful fragrance, guys. It's such an easy rich fragrance. Like if you like sweet, spicy, warm fragrances with apple, I mean, it doesn't have listed apple, but when I smell it, the first thing it hits me, apple juice. So to me, it has to have apple, you know. I don't think it's abysmal, but I think it performs decently. I would reapply it every 5 hours as a reference, you know, and I would do around 10 sprays, maybe more of this one as a reference. Okay, so this next fragrance, it's one of my oldest fragrances in my collection. Not the oldest one, but one of them. It's a fragrance that I've fallen in love, then fallen out of love, and fallen back in love and out of love, and now I'm back in love with this one. This is Black Orchid by Tom Ford, guys. The reason why I was falling out of love with this one in the first place was because someone I know who used to be very close to me, she used to wear this fragrance. She bought it basically after I bought it, and she used to wear it whenever we went somewhere. She used to wear it, and I started to associate the smell with her, and I didn't like that because I wanted to associate the smell with me, you know. And also there was a time when this fragrance, everybody wore it. Like I'm telling you, you went on the street, someone smelled like this. You went to the clubs, someone smelled like this. But it's almost like people were wearing this fragrance with a completely inappropriate outfit and a completely inappropriate vibe, and it's almost like they ruined it a little bit for me, you know. But now that actually a lot of people actually forgot about this fragrance, I feel like it's finally the time for me to put it back into my collection, you know. It's finally the time for me to wear it again. It's like a dark, earthy, balsamic patchouli fragrance with slightly dark, dry, chocolatey nuances, some spices there. It's a very dark and deep fragrance. It's a fragrance that's like a love or hate, you know. If you, let's just say you are curious about trying Black Orchid, I would actually advise you to get Oud 24 Hours by Ardel Zafran, and to mix it with Royal Orchid by Alanek. Yeah, those two fragrances together smell very similar to this one and perform very similar to this one. Just Oud 24 Hours on its own, I think it's a softer fragrance, but it definitely has the vibe, you know. Like if you wear that one, people will think you are wearing Black Orchid, or at least something extremely similar to Black Orchid, you know. But the negative side of that one is the fact that it doesn't really last and perform. The performance is not that good for that one, but that's why I say if you layer that one with the oud oil that I was telling you, problem solved. Everyone is happy, you know. So yes, this is another fragrance that I cannot wait. Like this fragrance, guys, with an outfit like this, you know, let's say with some leather pants and leather boots, all black outfit, I think it's like, it's the fragrance to pair with, you know. I think it's amazing. Again, let's just say maybe you are a little bit afraid of trying out Black Orchid. Maybe you've wanted to try this one, but you've you weren't sure. Let's just say you didn't make up your mind. I would advise you to try out Oud 24 Hours by Ardel Zafran, mixed with Royal Orchid. With these two, I will insert some pictures with the fragrances. It will give you a very similar feel without the very earthy and slightly funky patchouli. The patchouli in here, yes, it has a funk to it, but only for a little bit, you know. But I do think you need to appreciate patchouli to appreciate this fragrance, because this is all about patchouli. Patchouli that's very damp, like earthy, very earthy, you know, slightly funky, and then later it turns into this like chocolatey, dark, dry, beautiful patchouli. Okay, so let's move on to a fragrance. Well, this one was very funny. I think I mentioned it in one of my older videos, and someone left a very passive-aggressive comment under that video, and the person asked me, why am I wearing fragrances that are for men? And to me, guys, by the way, this next fragrance is called Red Tobacco by Mancera. And to me, this is not a fragrance that's just for men. First of all, you wear whatever makes you feel good. I wear whatever makes me feel good. But second of all, to me, this is a perfect unisex fragrance. This fragrance, like, I see no reason why this wouldn't shine on a confident woman with the proper outfit who loves spices and tobacco in her fragrances. Like, honestly, as soon as the temperatures dropped where I live, I took this one out, and for a full week it was the only fragrance that I was wearing it. Let me actually show you. I actually gave this one quite a good dent because of that, you know. I think it's amazing. I think it smells intoxicating and powerful and sophisticated. This is a very complex fragrance. It's very hard to describe it only in a few words, but like, to me, in the opening, it smells like nutmeg essential oil. Like, if you buy from wherever you buy a nutmeg essential oil, it will smell like the opening of Red Tobacco by Mancera. So it's like spicy, but quite sharp and quite pungent, but I'm not sure if pungent is the best choice of words, but slightly challenging. So you have the nutmeg in the opening with the green apple that gives the softest, slightest bit of a freshness to the fragrance. Quickly you get a tobacco. The tobacco, I feel like because of the patchouli, sometimes, at least on me, it does have a damp vibe to it, like it's a wet tobacco, you know. But I'm telling you, only from time to time. Then you get some like dry woody amber accords. It's a gorgeous fragrance, guys. The patchouli, keep in mind, I think first of all you need to appreciate patchouli and tobacco and spices, because this is all about that. I've seen this has listed saffron. Personally, I don't get a lot of it. I've seen this has listed oud. I mean, yes, I do get in the dry down a soft woody touch mixed with the tobacco and everything, but to me, when I smell the woody touch, to me it smells like a woody touch, not like oud, you know. So I don't think this is not the kind of fragrance to purchase if you're looking for an oud based fragrance, you know. I have other recommendations if you're looking for that. And let me just tell you, there's something about this fragrance, because when, like I told you, for a full week it was the only fragrance that I was wearing it, and I got so many compliments on this fragrance, guys. Like, I was not expecting people to like it so much, because to me it's more of an artistic, challenging fragrance, you know, but I got a lot of compliments on it, surprisingly. I guess if you're a woman, get a sample, get a decant. I don't know if it's something you would enjoy in general, but it's definitely a fragrance that's worth at least sampling and sniffing, even to train your nose, you know. Let's say that you're into fragrances, you want to get a fragrance that's complex with tobacco, with spices, you want to have a feel of how nutmeg essential oil smells like. Get a sample of this one and test it for yourself. But keep in mind, some women told me they find it too masculine. Now, to me, I think this shines very beautiful on a woman and just as beautiful on a man, like on a man. Again, with the proper outfit, because this is a fragrance that's more elegant and a statement fragrance, you know, so you cannot wear it with like sportswear, you know, like, or like flip-flops, you know. Oh my god. Yeah. With a proper outfit, I think this smells luxurious, this smells elegant, and this smells sophisticated and very powerful. Okay, so the next fragrance, this one is from the house of Swiss Arabian, and this is a fragrance that I've talked about, but I feel like I only did a first impressions and then I haven't told you anything about it. And today I will actually give you an update also. The fragrance is called Areej Sheila. This is how it looks. And I actually, since the video, I got to wear it way more. Different scenarios, different weather, and let me actually give you an update. Yeah, now for me, this is definitely colder weather. I don't know if I've mentioned in the video that it's supposed to work in warmer temperatures. When it's like, let's just say above 30 degrees, it could work. Anything above, no, it's the other way around, guys. Anything below 30 degrees Celsius, it could work. Anything above it, it doesn't work. And why I say that it doesn't work is because when it's very hot outside, this has geranium in it. And basically, if you've ever smelled geranium in real life, it smells like a green, raw, nature-like green rosy fragrance. It's almost like you smell a dark red rose, but like, and you smell it like with the whole green part of it, you know, like with the stem and everything. That's how it smells. So it has this very like specific aromatic touch. Let me just tell you, this fragrance is a chameleon. The way it smells when you first apply it, it's not the way it smells in the dry down. I think the opening, a lot of people will find it off-putting. The opening of this one, it's like, it's cold, it's like very cold, dark, spicy, slightly cooling. You have here cloves, so it has this almost like cooling, mentally touch to it. You also have some peppery nuances in the opening, and you get the geranium, which gives it this like aromatic rose touch to it. So it's like dark, it's slightly earthy, it's green, you know. Doesn't have a lot of sweetness. I would say doesn't have any sweetness in the opening. But as you are wearing this one, guys, the spices fade away. The geranium fades away, and instead of the geranium, you start to get a beautiful sweet red rose touch. And you start to get some ambery vanilla nuances, and you also get some leathery woody nuances, but they're, at least on my skin, they're more in the background. In the front, you have the vanilla mixed with amber and the rose. So this fragrance starts to get warmer, starts to get sweeter, and I think at this point a lot of people would appreciate it more. I remember someone actually left a comment under one of my videos, and they said something along the lines of that this doesn't even last and it's like a watered down version or anything. I cannot tell you if that person actually tried the fragrance, but I have it, and let me just tell you, this one lasts, guys. This one lasts, and this one performs, and this one, performance-wise, this is top-notch. Scent-wise, it's challenging. I don't know if a lot of people would appreciate this fragrance, but the performance for this fragrance is there. Definitely less is more, like, I don't know, like 5 to 6 sprays of this one, you don't need more. And it can get very overpowering very fast if you do more than that, you know. Let's just say if you wanted to try this fragrance but you were worried about the performance factor, to me the performance is here. Like, it performs, it doesn't perform like let's just say Red Tobacco by Mancera, you know, or like Arabian Stonka, these sort of fragrances, but guys, it definitely performs. If we are talking about alien-like fragrances, I have to mention my all-time favorite alien flanker. Now this one, in the summertime, I've worn it here and there, but I feel like autumn, and now I actually like crave it, you know, to wear it. This is called Musc Mysterieux by Mugler. And this fragrance, guys, look how ugly my bottle is. I'm very sorry. Maybe I should have went and got the backup that I have to show it to you, but I'm not going, because the backups are in a different room. Yeah. The fragrance is much more beautiful when it's freshly opened, let's say, you know. This is my first bottle of the fragrance. I've had this one since 2018 in my collection, and I am obsessed with it. Like I've said, if I were to choose one fragrance for the rest of my life, if I would only have to choose one fragrance, I mean, first of all, hypothetically speaking only, but if I would, let's say, have to choose, I would choose this one for sure, hands down. This is like me in a bottle sort of fragrance, you know. This is all about dry cooking like spices, like very abstract dry cooking spices. An animalic musk. You have a funk here. The fragrance has a funk. I feel like maybe if you want to train your nose when it comes to fragrances, this is a very good representation of what an animalic musk smells like. With spices, you have the same cold jasmine, but here I would say it's warmer, but it's drier at the same time. This is like rough dry, powdery, sort of rough dry, you know. Now, this to me, guys, this in my opinion is the best flanker. I have Essence Absolue. I like that one as well. I enjoy that one as well, but to me, this is the most me flanker, and to me, this is the best flanker. This is the most loud but sophisticated and slightly obnoxious but statement and very unique fragrance. This is what I would say, it's an artistic fragrance, you know. To me, it works amazing with blazers. It works really well with like turtlenecks, you know, like black turtlenecks from like thicker fabrics that are like warming up and cozy, you know. This is like the cherry on top for those outfits. Or whenever you want to feel bold and mysterious. I feel like this is what this fragrance embodies, you know, like boldness and mysteriousness. So guys, we are at the last few fragrances for today's video. Honestly, the list could have been way more long, like way longer, but I still wanted to keep it relatively short and sweet. Now, this next fragrance is a fragrance that, let's just say, it was one of my first loves when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances. It was a gift, and it has a very special and meaningful place in my heart. This next fragrance is called Rosewood by Ajmal. Now, Ajmal, guys, for the longest time, it used to be one of my favorite brands. This W series from them, my favorite, all-time favorite series from Ajmal. Now, lately, let me just tell you, I don't have access to a lot of Ajmal fragrances, you know. So this is why I have not been able to test, let's just say, the Amir line, you know, or other releases. But what I am testing now, I know this is like completely out of the topic, but what I am testing now are 3 fragrances that, oh my god, are so good, like, and I'm like, do I need them? No, but I want them, you know. I'm testing now at the moment Casida, which is like sweet, leathery, boozy, pungent in the opening, then it gets sweeter and slightly smoked as you wear it, that sort of fragrance. And I'm testing the Kaffia range. Oh my god, Kaffia 1 and Kaffia 1 and Kaffia, what was the other one? These two. The one that looks yellow and the one that looks like brownish, you know, like ambery brown shade. The one with coffee and the one with rose. Again, those 2 fragrances are very unique. Now back to Rosewood by Ajmal. Let me just tell you that I feel like for this fragrance, the packaging and the whole vibe with this one is like, it's very luxurious. To me, you get an experience, you know, when you buy something like this. Yeah, again, another top 10 for life or something, or like top 15 for life. I have a lot of fragrances that I'm like emotionally attached to them, and this is one of them, guys. This is like such a gorgeous fragrance to me. Now, depending on where you are in your fragrance journey, you might find this one a little bit too safe for you, or you might absolutely love it. How I look at this fragrance, to me, Rosewood, it's that perfect statement fragrance that's unique enough to stand out, but at the same time safe enough that you could wear it all year round in all scenarios without people being like, or without people feeling suffocated by the fragrance. But at the same time, it just has something very like alluring and mysterious about it. Like, it's gorgeous, guys, gorgeous. It has some wood there. The wood is like very rich and woody. It has some like dry cooking spices in the background. You have again a very like dry rose, some slightly powdery nuances. I think I have a video where I talk more about this fragrance, but this to me, let's just say that you want to keep your fragrance collection to the minimum and you want a fragrance that's elegant, timeless, sophisticated, and very bold, but that you could wear in all scenarios. I mean, mainly in all scenarios, you know, like of course you're not gonna wear it to the gym or something, but like, you know how there's a time and a place for every kind of scent. Now this I would say could work in a lot of different occasions, you know, and I would say all year round, for sure, all year round performs very well. The wood is there, but it's not funky, you know, it doesn't have a funk to it, or maybe the slightest funk, but no. Honestly, compared to other woods that I've tried, this one is like, this is a beginner, like a very friendly beginner fragrance. If you like a dark, spicy, deep fragrances, to me, you know what, I think I've said something along the lines of, this smells like class and sophistication in a bottle, and I 100% stand by that. It really does smell like class and sophistication in a bottle, but again, depending on where you are in your fragrance journey, you might need a little bit more from your fragrance, and depending what kind of fragrances you've tried so far. This was one of my first, I think, first of all, it was my first Ajmal fragrance. Let's just say the closest one that I had in my collection back then to this one. It was Sheikh al-Shuyuk by Lattafa, but they were very different scent-wise, you know. So this is why I say, for me, it has a very like sentimental place in my heart, you know. Now, in another one that I am really excited to wear more, this one in the summer, I think I wore it a few times, but again, this one I think it's meant to be worn in colder months, you know, generally speaking. This one is from Guerlain. I don't have a lot of fragrances from Guerlain, but this is a fragrance that, to me, it's totally worth it. This was very popular on YouTube a while ago. This one is called Santal, and this, to me, it's a gorgeous fragrance. Very hyped up, but gorgeous. See, if I were to quickly compare these two, I feel like Rosewood from Ajmal is more safer bet. Like if you are to blend by something, this one is more of a safer bet, safer option. Definitely works way better in the summer than this one from Guerlain. This one from Guerlain, guys, it has a much more pronounced smoky touch, like a traditional smelling Middle Eastern touch, you know. Yeah, it's beautiful. To me, you know what it smells like? It smells like it's slightly sharp in the opening. You have this like sweet, peachy, fruity vibe, and then you have the rose and a lot of cinnamon. And in the background you have a lot of smoke, but again, you have different types of smoke nuances in this one. You have something that smells like incense, like burning incense, you know, like you're burning incense sticks. that are like very highly scented, and then it smells like to me it also has this like ashy cigarette smell, but only like a little bit of it, you know. But for instance, my partner, when he smells this one, he says that to him it smells like cigarette, you know. So yeah, I think get a sample, get a decant if you're interested in trying out this one. But it's warm, guys. This fragrance is very like warm. It's very smoky, like the smoke is like enveloping you. It's like you've like smoked your clothes, you know, with bahor or something. And then the rose here is not the darkest rose, not the sweetest rose, not the juiciest rose, not the jammiest of roses, but it's a dry red rose, and it's very like spiced up by all the cinnamon, you know. Yeah, gorgeous, beautiful option. A lot of smoke, guys. Like when I wear this, like when I smell this fragrance, like almost like you're in a room, like a small room full of smoke, you know, like you're smoking a cigar, you're like burning some incense in the background. It's very hot, it's very warm in the room. You have a bouquet of roses, you know, you have something with cinnamon and peach at the same time. Honestly, like if I'm thinking now, I feel like almost every other fragrance that I showed you has rose, but it has, you see, I like rose, but I don't like the simple rose kind of fragrance, you know, or like the mainstream rose fragrance. I like fragrances that have big personality to them, you know. I like fragrances that tell me a story, you know. I like fragrances that are like, I don't know, that have something to them, you know. Even though you might think like having many rose fragrances is boring because they all smell the same, believe me, they don't smell the same. They don't smell the same simply because rose, the note of rose, the accord of rose can smell very different depending on what you pair it with and in what kind of fragrances you put it, you know. Put some rose with peony and some fruity citrus nuances and you have a beautiful floral fragrance with a bright pink rose, let's say, you know. Take a dark rich rose, add some resinous touches there, and it's like you have rose syrup, you know. Put some spices there, a little bit of saffron, and it smells like, oh my god, it smells amazing, you know. Get a rose, put some dry spicy nuances there, put some woody nuances, a little bit of wood, and you have a very dry rosy fragrance. Rose, guys, rose can come in so many different scent families, you know. For instance, take geranium, take rose, a beautiful dark rose accord, take geranium, and you have this like, add some like patchouli touches and something woody in the background to support the scent, and you have this like dark, rosy, slightly aromatic, green, earthy fragrance, you know. And that smells very different to all the other ones. So yes, basically rose to me, I could never get tired of. Of course, I could have included more fragrances into this video, but there are those fragrances that like I wear them all year round, you know, like Seja Gold, like Sharafood and Uda Swad, you know, so I didn't want to include those into this video. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what fragrances are you planning to wear this autumn season. Don't forget to watch the previous video, this video, where I share a lot of other fragrances that are very like, that are perfect for the autumn season, you know. So yes, guys, those are my thoughts. If you want to tell me anything, please put it down in the comment section and I promise I will get back to you. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I will link my Instagram up there. And please, if you've tried any of the fragrances that I've mentioned today, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. How do you feel about it? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's appropriate for autumn? Do you wear it all year round? And overall, if you enjoy it or not. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, a lot of positive energy, and I will see you in my next video. And I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye. Mwah.